Do you know how some people around us try to be philosophical when they say things are not always what they seem? Well, this is no philosophy. Here we have to deal with a family who owns the sweetest good-looking dog in all of their neighborhood and then get the greatest shock afterwards. Here we go. Yunnan is a town in China blessed with plenty of amazing nature to look at, and Amy, a Chinese, lives in this beautiful tropical province with her family. For the longest time, this charming woman and her family have desired to add a furry friend to their family, and on this fateful day, they finally visit the pet store to adopt one. Not long after a walk in the store looking around for the perfect addition to their family, she sighted the most adorable fuzzy and bubbly puppy whose dreamy eyes held her gaze. There and then Amy knew she was going to take this dog home with her. With the chills and butterflies that this charming little dog was giving an entire family, we could call it love at first sight. There was no need to do any more consulting. They already decided this dog was going home with them. After all, love is all that matters. But of course, before leaving the store, the family inquired about the dog's breed from the store manager, and he assured them it was a Tibetan Mastiff. Amy was particularly delighted about this newfound friend her family was about to enjoy, and from his color, they named him Blackie. Definitely not cliché, while the family was still getting used to their dog. Amy could already observe some unexplainable behaviors from her little cutie not long after arriving home. These behaviors were striking because it was unlike any dog they had ever seen before, so it was quite strange. For one, he had a very large appetite and wasn't the type who loved bones and other usual dog food like other dogs, and so this didn't just seem unique, it also caught the family off guard since they'd now have to brainstorm on what to feed this special dog. Every day, the puppy ate 2 buckets of pasta and a box of fruit. The adorable puppy also barked in a very outlandish manner. It was so unusual that they could miss that it was a bark. It sounded more like a howl than the everyday woof one would get from every dog. Maybe Amy and her family expected a few strange behaviors because the store manager had already informed them that Tibetan Mastiffs are unique. Still, these acts on display didn't quite cut a few strange behaviors. However, Blackie, this beautiful, charming puppy, seemed to love his time with Amy's family, who were happy to take care of him, and he was enjoying them too. However, Amy ended up back at the pet store, and we wonder why this would be happening. About 2 years later, Amy decided that the things that were off about her dog were not to be ignored. They were significantly straying away from the behavior of a dog. It got really strange when little Blackie wasn't so little anymore and weighed over 110 kilograms and was over 1 meter in height. Although the Tibetan Mastiff is a huge dog breed, this was an exceptional case. Little cutie Blackie's family also noticed that he had a lot of teeth. They don't resemble canine teeth. The sharp teeth resembled the jaws of an enraged animal more than fangs. All these signs were too glaring to be ignored, and now the family was scared of the dog because they now believe it may be dangerous and give very serious bites to anyone it may attack. At the vets, Amy and her family decided to take Blackie to the vet, and the reaction was quite shocking. The veterinarian quickly contacted the authorities and informed the family that they would see their beloved pet, but this was the final time. The vet began asking the family a series of questions about Blackie, including where he came from, what he ate, how large he was at first, how he behaved. These many questions got the displeased family even more worried, and the vet could notice their agitation, so he decided to tell them once and for all what was going on. Blackie wasn't a Tibetan Mastiff. As a matter of fact, he wasn't a dog at all. He was a black Asian bear. A bear. The Asian black bear, Ursus tibetanus, is a medium-sized bear species native to Asia. It is also known as the Asiatic black bear, moon bear, and white-chested bear. It is an endangered species due to its medicinal body parts. People frequently catch and kill bears because their bile can be utilized for medical purposes. As expected, there is a law in China that requires the police to safeguard endangered species. This was heartbreaking news for Amy's family, who had to say their final goodbyes to their beloved pet. Even though they were relieved to learn why Blackie was such a peculiar puppy and that the authorities had rescued him, they still feel so honored to have had Blackie under their care.